This is the Effing One Podcast, Australia's only Formula One podcast with Adam and Luke.
G'day and welcome to Effing One Podcast, the Little Aussie Battlers podcast. It's a Formula One podcast you can't afford not to listen to. If you want to hear from the most important people in the Formula One paddock in person and not from a bunch of dull, lifeless British people, this is the podcast for you. This is a mildly amusing, hastily thrown together Australian Formula One podcast that takes no prisoners. Sure, it's a little unsavoury at times. Absolutely, it's tasteless. And you betcha, it's occasionally lewd. But what's a podcast that doesn't put some noses out of joint and ruffle some feathers? So, if you're having doubts about whether you want to continue listening to this episode that you've just downloaded, how about you have a spoonful of cement and harden the hell up? Because two slightly overweight middle-aged Aussie blokes are talking Formula One. G'day, Luke.
G'day, Adam.
How you going, bud?
I'm going well. How are you?
You look good. Got your Dan Ricciardo jumper on
I
today.
think your eyesight's dwindling with your age.
It's not great.
But that's okay.
That's all right.
I just a caveat to that intro. We did take a prisoner once.
We what?
We did take a prisoner once.
A prisoner?
Yeah. When you said we take no prisoners, we did take one.
Oh, we did.
Once.
Yeah.
But we let them out.
We did.
They paid the ransom. We let them out.
It was fine.
That's what we do.
Yeah. He was a nice guy. What was his name? Marquez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silvio Marquez.
Silvio.
Yeah.
He washed our smalls, made us dinner. He was very handy around the house.
Yeah, like I was planning to keep him a little bit longer, but they paid us a hefty ransom.
Yeah. Worth
And
it.
we sent that to Speckled Jim.
Sure did. All the proceeds went straight to Speckled Jim, the charity. Wonderful.
Oh, well.
Good stuff. Hey, Luke, what a podcast coming up
What a great
tonight.
intro.
Thank you, Luke.
I'm
Thank
post-selling
you.
your intro. We should end the podcast just on that.
Should we?
Yep.
Thank
you.
Let's just enjoy
See
that.
you after the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. After that intro, that was just awesome. What a podcast coming up.
Can only go downhill from there.
Oh, this podcast always does go downhill from here. From the beginning is the high point.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. We undersell it, and then we underdeliver. That's the best thing about this podcast, Luke.
Cunning.
Yes. We are very, very good. This is a double podcast, by the way,
Shit.
Luke. Yep. We are wrapping up the British GP. Sorry about that. Bit late in the piece, but hey, we're very busy people.
Yeah.
And when you don't have advertising or many downloads, you can do what you bloody well like.
Not one person has messaged going, hey, where's the next podcast?
You see, if we had people listen and hanging on to the next episode to drop,
Yeah.
we would be doing this podcast earlier.
But you don't care. You listen to it.
It's one of those podcasts you can take or leave.
Yeah, that's it.
Most-
a lot of people leave it.
They-
you know that bloke from Iceland? He's left it.
See?
We must have said too much about him sucking dick, and he's going, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm not listening anymore.
I think we've discovered why we are suffering in our downloads.
No. I think we can pick on each country
Yep.
that listens to us until we get to a point where no one's listening
That's
anymore.
what we're doing. We seem to berate everyone who's listening to us. Oh, we got a listener in Iceland. Oh, those cocksuckers. Sure enough, we lose him next week.
And listen no more.
Funny that. So we are, by the way, this podcast proudly brought to you by the charity, the Effing One charity, Hand Jobs for the Homeless. Luke, it's good to do our little part, isn't it, for the homeless?
Yeah, it's
odd
nice.
Sneaky hand job for them.
Well,
They appreciate it.
they got they sit around, they smell,
Yeah.
but sure they need food, they need a roof over their head, but we're not going to give them that. We're going to give them.
And there are services to accommodate that. They they can find shelter. There are those vans that give them food.
There's no services for hand relief.
There's not, Luke. Not until now.
There is now.
Now there is. And that's, if you survey homeless people, what you'll find they're most thankful for.
We got a 5-star hand job rating on Uber.
They give us reviews. Surprising how many homeless people have mobile phones.
You read the last review we got.
Yeah, let's have a look here. It's here. Here we are. Terry.
Fucking terrible. He lines up every day.
Terry, got kicked out of the house, couldn't pay me rent, but thank God those boys at F1 Podcast could knock me off because now I feel like $1 million. That was nice. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah.
What have you got from another homeless person?
I've got one from Jim.
Jim.
Yep. He goes, my mowing business isn't doing very well, and I lost the kids in the house.
Yep.
But thank God F1 Podcast came in and polished me off, and I've never been happier. Still don't have anything to eat, but I feel lighter. Thanks, effing one.
There you go, hey?
And testimonials.
Testimony.
Yeah.
That means a lot. Oh, I get a bit choked up, actually. Anyway.
You're doing it wrong then.
You're supposed to use your hands.
What are you, Robert Kubica? We got some Danish listeners recently. We've had a spike in Danish listeners, so I think we can rip on the Danes.
Is that because we had a Danish last week?
Yeah,
we ate a Danish?
Yeah, it could be.
Not a person, the cake, the pastry.
The apple strudel.
The apple strudel, the
That was
Danish.
The beautiful apple strudel.
I wonder if that's why they're listening, expecting us to just offer strudel every week. Because if you are,
If you're here for strudel
if
content,
you're here for strudel,
sorry.
we don't have cake this week.
No.
Sorry.
It's purely for the Austrian Grand Prix and it's gone.
But we do have some shits and giggles.
Oh, plenty of shits.
We definitely deliver shits and giggles. And we deliver a puke-free guarantee, Luke. A puke-free guarantee through the entire episode. If you hear something that triggers your gag reflex, if Luke says something inappropriate and suddenly you feel like gagging.
If you're Danish with a weak stomach and you're sucking dick, you don't get the puke-free guarantee while sucking dick, Danes. Just
No.
thought I'd let you know. I know you guys are up for the cock.
The Danes are not gagging people. They do not have a high gag reflex.
No, really?
No, the Vikings.
You've tested that out?
The Vikings are known to be swallowers.
Kevin Magnussen never vomited.
He did not.
No.
He was tough as
His
fucking-
dad, Jan Magnussen,
Jan.
didn't throw up.
No.
Smoked a pack a day.
No, they're tough people, mate. And welcome aboard, the Danes, any of the Scandinavians or the Viking. Please, make yourself at home. I feel like we're kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Us down here in Australia, you
Throw
way up there.
Yeah, sister cities.
Sister cities.
Copenhagen and
Narang.
And Narang.
The lovely... If you've not been to Narang and you are from Scandinavia...
Book yourself in. There's a cruise, the Narang River cruise.
It's a bit smelly.
Straight from the fjords
Yeah.
all the way down here.
Yeah.
Sure, there's beautiful things you can see along the way, but you're going to miss them all. Go straight to Narang.
Straight to Narang. Forget the surf beaches and the rainforest and the... No. Straight to Narang, folks.
Straight to Narang.
And also, on this podcast, Luke.
This one.
Big names. Check this out. Robert Kubica. Sebastian Vettel. We've got a 4-time world champion on the podcast today, Luke.
We do.
Dan Ricciardo is on the podcast.
Thank fuck. We'll finally get to him.
Oh, thank God. Kimi Räikkönen, Toto Wolff. We're also going to hand out some awards, Luke. We've got a whole bunch that have been hand-whittled by producer Pete.
And there was 2 races, even though they're not calling the sprint race a sprint race, they're calling it sprint qualifying, but we're going to give out some awards
Oh, are we?
because of the
Do we
sprint
have
race.
double up on the awards?
Yeah, Pete's been
Good.
extra whittling. That's what he did in the extra week.
Excellent. Good. Also going to have an update from the Formula One race that everyone is talking about, the Monaco of the Gold Coast. Speaking of Narang, the Narang GP.
Oh.
What? This is what we are putting forward to replace Melbourne, if not replace, work in tandem with Melbourne for 2022. The newest race on the F1 calendar. It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
You've got some fresh news about the Narang GP as well.
Well, every it's the highlight of our year
Yeah.
in Australia
Yep.
when we finally get to showcase the beauty, the crapulence,
The crapulence?
yes,
Yep.
of Narang, the Narang River, the surrounding Narangatangs,
Yes.
which we call the people there. Sure, they're missing some chromosomes, but that's what makes them special.
There's a lot of special people in Narang, Luke. You are cut from that cloth.
I went to school there.
You did. You did. That's why.
I'm balding and I don't have straight teeth. That's why. Some say I could eat an apple through a tennis racket. Try and get that image. Imagine that.
Right now, it's time to catch up with Robert Kubica on this podcast with Hand in the Paddock. He's the COVID tester for the official COVID tester for Formula One. And it is a pleasure. It is an honour to have the man on this podcast every week. I don't know why, but he does. We get the big names. Let's speak to Rob. Oh, let's play that intro for Robert Kubica, which is now officially the Polish national anthem.
It is.
Geen in the park, geen in the park, it's geen in the park with Robert Kubica. Robert Kubica. Hey, 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 hello, fellas.
Robert.
It's me, Robert Kubica. Hey, hello. Nice to see you.
How you going?
It's been a long time no see. Is that the expression you use?
It is.
I have heard this before.
There you go.
Long time no see.
Look at you nailing the English expressions.
If it was not for this podcast being so popular in Poland, I don't know if my English would be so eloquent. Eloquent?
No, you had it right the first time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm still learning.
Elephant.
Elephant.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy to tell you that this podcast is now number 4 in Warsaw, in my hometown of Warsaw, number 4. Yes, very popular.
4
podcast.
in Warsaw.
Yeah, number 4.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yes, number 4. 4. Yes, 4. Is that right? I don't know. Please don't make fun of my accent. Hey,
What's 4 in Polish?
Look. How do you not know 4 in Poland? Please, you make fun of me.
I'm not making fun.
Why you laughing? Please don't laugh at me.
I'm not.
Please don't laugh at my accent. You know.
So?
What?
What's 4 in Polish?
4 in Polish. I know what 4 in Polish. It's Kiecki.
Kiecki.
Yeah. Come on, mate. Please, Kiecki.
Kiecki.
So, what do you want to talk about? Please. I've been testing. Very busy testing the COVID.
I hear.
I had the vaccine.
Did you?
I did not tell you. I had the Pfizer vaccine, and in the
has it affected your testing, your taste buds, or anything like that?
I don't know. I'm blurry. I can't see anything, and I cannot lift my arm.
Which one?
Purple. I have a purple.
The gammy arm.
Yes, but I think it's always been like this.
It's been like that for a while.
Yes. People said to me, "Hey."
2008, 2009, wasn't it?
Yes, 2007, please. And they say, "Hey, this arm here is not working. It must be from the vaccine." I said, "No, it's from the car crash. It's from the car crash. Remember, dickhead?" So it's okay.
I've heard some exciting news.
Yes, I have exciting news. Yes, please tell me.
No, you've got the news. Please,
I've got news.
Please tell me.
I am a conductor.
Conductor.
I am conductor.
So there's a new musical coming out called COVID the Musical.
Correct. It's
and
based on my life as a tester.
Your life as a tester?
Yes, they made screenplay and musical of my musical show with the singing and the dancing of my life.
So you've written the score?
I have written... I don't know what score is. I've written words.
The music?
Oh, yes, please, the music, yes. Hey, the park. Hey, the park. It's the same song over and over again.
Because that song was so popular, now you're a conductor of the... What's the orchestra called?
It is called the Warsaw Anus Orchestra.
The prostate?
The prostate. Oh, is that the words in English?
Prostate.
We say, I thought anus, but prostate, thank you. I am the prostate conductor of the musical Hand in Anus, Fist in Asshole. It is now musical, and I am the conductor. So during the live show, I will have all of the instruments, the guys and girls with the instruments lined up, and I say, "Okay, are you ready, everyone? Everyone is seated. Okay, all right, everybody, line up, please. Okay, now have your instrument. You got it? Good. Flutes, yes. Percussion. You ready? Okay. Drop your pants." Drop your pants. And they look at me and they say, "Why? What? Hey, this is not the way we normally play the instruments for the musicals." I said, "This is a different musicals. This is my musical of me, of my life, Robert Kubica."
And you wanted to be represented.
I wanted to come from
style.
My heart, from me, from my soul.
Your idiom.
Yes. And it must be part of my experience. So everyone, turn around, drop your pant. Good. Now, let me play you. And they say, "What do you mean?" I say, tonight I will be playing you, and you will play the instruments. So, bend over. And they go, oh, I don't know, but no, trust. You must trust me. I am the visionary of this musical. I'm paying you wages. It is a wonderful show. Trust. You must trust.
You have to trust it.
Audience is waiting. They are waiting for the music.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Kubica, no problem. We bend over, we put up.
You're a big thing in Poland, so you can kind of get away with these things.
I can say stuff and people do stuff for me, yes. So then I go, okay.
Powerful
3,
man.
2, 1. Hold my fingers in different people's anus.
You have large hands.
Every single person has a different finger in anus.
Is it a tickle? Or is there a different one? Like
No, it's like a puppet master. I am like puppet master. I am moving around, jiggling, insert, in, deep, out. Deep in, deep out.
And that just adds to the sound that they're playing at the other end.
Yes, thank you. And then while I'm doing this, they are playing the flute to my in and out and in and.
Sounds very, very Polish. Very Polish.
It's a beautiful song, look.
Those sounds.
Very musical peoples, the Poles. Anyway, so.
That's very exciting news. It'll keep you busy.
Yes.
You got the summer break coming up.
Yes.
Will you be touring, or are you just staying locally in Poland?
I think the tour will be firstly in Poland. We're going to all the regional cities, the small towns, to all the places around Poland, and hopefully it will catch on. And
You tour the world.
we can tour, maybe.
Or at least do cruise ships.
That would be nice. I like to work a cruise ship. I will have to wear mask.
Yeah.
But apparently you can do some COVID testing on cruise ship as well.
Of course you can.
And I'm very good at COVID testing.
You are one of the best COVID testers that is known to mankind.
Thank you very much, guys. I'd like to say thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome.
I'm very popular in Poland, thanks to you. And have a great week.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank
See
you,
you
guys.
after the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Thank you, guys. Bye. See you later. Bye. Oh, how about that?
He's got a full plate.
Hasn't he? Got a lot going on.
He's a busy man.
COVID tester for Formula One and his own musical. It's an unusual way to.
Would you go?
Yeah, I'll definitely go. I just want to. I'd like to see him play the orchestra. I'm just having a problem picturing how that works.
I would put, if you're going to watch a musical, because the orchestra is always
Hidden lower down.
in front,
Yes, down.
before the stage.
Normally
so
sunk.
where you would be sitting normally, you would get a good view of him conducting his orchestra.
I get a feeling that the main appeal of going to watch this musical would not be so much the show, but to watch Robert inserting with the orchestra.
Interesting little way he's got there.
I wonder if you could just buy tickets to watch the orchestra.
I'm sure that's what it'll evolve into.
Yeah.
It's just Robert penetrating a whole bunch of poor musicians in Poland.
Eventually, the actors realise that no one's actually watching them anymore, and they just walk off stage.
Yeah.
Give up.
Yeah.
Because the audience is just transfixed on what's happening with Robert.
Yeah.
Inserting his
And the beautiful
fingers.
sounds that will be coming from
Yeah.
the Polish orchestra, the prostate orchestra.
The prostate orchestra. Yeah. How about that?
Exciting.
Very
exciting.
exciting. Very exciting, Luke. And we need to hand out some. No, we don't. Before we do that, can we just touch on the British Grand Prix?
Yeah.
Before we hand out awards, because it's been a couple of days. It's been a week, Luke. But what a race! It's back, and we just had some. The gloves are off. It was fisticuff time. Hamilton.
Verstappen
runs Verstappen off. Verstappen hits the wall in like 65.
51G.
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 That was bloody hard.
Yeah, it's a big hit.
Big hit. And Hamilton goes on to win. Last couple of laps.
Yep.
But wow, it's all about that conflict and what that does now. Things have suddenly got pretty serious.
It has, and it was a change of weekend. They had the sprint qualifying race on the Saturday.
That was great.
It was great. Everyone said it'd be processional. Lewis said that.
I said that.
He was wrong.
I was wrong.
You were wrong.
You were right.
Of course.
Well, hang on.
Of course.
But Alonso saved that race.
Oh, Alonso saves everything.
Without Alonso, that was a procession.
Alonso's been moved into the Spanish Olympic soccer team just to make a few more saves.
He was phenomenal.
He is. He's a great driver. He's a great starter. And the thing also,
aggressive.
George Russell went backwards, had a bit of a contact with Sainz, so he lost a few places. And then that started like the main race. It was Lewis got pole position. Max jumped him at the start.
Yep.
So that's how Max got pole position for the race on Sunday. And it was gloves off.
Oh,
first lap.
Fantastic.
Side by side, going through so many corners, really battling hard. Lewis taking a dive, pulling out, and then it came to the to the right-hander on the old start-finish straight. And you knew it. He pinched him against the wall, really close.
Yep.
You know that, Lewis is going to have dirt on his tyres because he's been pushed to the dirty side of the track.
Yep.
Max doesn't have his ideal racing line, but at some point he's got to turn in. Lewis isn't going to make the apex because he's not going to pull out.
No.
Just like my dad and my mum, he didn't pull out.
They should have, but they didn't.
And they should have. They should have thought of that, but they didn't. And I think roles reversed, the exact same thing happens.
Yeah.
If Max was pinched to the inside and went along, he was not going to back out of that conflict. He was you knew they were going to make contact, and Max wasn't going to back out. Lewis wasn't going to back out, and I think Lewis has always said that he always treats Max differently. That he needs to, when he battles him on track, that he treats him because Max isn't someone who backs out. But now he's fighting him for a world championship.
Yep.
Gloves are off, and that was a clear line in the sand between these two.
Yep. That
we're going to race each other. We're going to race each other hard. And this is going to happen. I don't think this is going to be the only time.
No. It's been building. They've been dancing around it. It's been peppering. It's been simmering. And every time, like you said, Hamilton was the one to back out because he's got more to lose. He's more experienced.
And he had a multi point lead
absolutely
on Max over the years. So there's no real point, you can have it this time. And
But you kind of knew that in previous moments where Hamilton had been the one to pull out and let Max go and not cause that conflict, not be part of that incident, that eventually Lewis, and I think Lewis may have actually mentioned something about that. Do you remember him saying something along the lines of that eventually he was going to... I kind of got the feeling that he's mentioned that before, that he would eventually have to say, no, I'm going to hold my ground and just drive and race rather than be too cautious and be worried about Max. Because there's the Max factor. It's the Max factor. Everyone knows that he's crazy and he's
Mad Max.
He's Mad Max. He's not going to give an inch and he will ram you off. So people are aware of that when they're racing with him. Lewis has finally gone, nah, this is it. If I get knocked out, if I get run into the wall, that's something that I'm prepared
I'll
to
make
take.
that sacrifice.
I'll make the sacrifice. But it worked out exactly the way it needed to for the championship.
Of course it did.
Lewis is back in town with the point scenario. Mm-hmm. He's only a couple of points back now.
Yep.
And suddenly Max has to think, oh, shit. So someone is actually going to, hold their line now. They're not going to be flinched by me all the time.
But you see, examples of, Max fighting Daniel Ricciardo in Azerbaijan, then, he's going to... When I watch that footage back, you see Max has pinched him, but Lewis has still gone for it. Max comes back, and then he leans back into the corner as if to... Like before turn-in,
the double movement.
He's flinched as if to go back out now. Like he's tried to balk him. He's
Yeah.
tried to scare Lewis into, I'm going to turn in.
Yes.
And then he's gone back a little bit to the left again, and then he's turned in for the corner.
Yep.
So he's balked him as if to go, dude, I'm not going to back out of this.
Yep.
And Lewis is just going, nah, I'm staying here.
Yeah, I'm not backing out on this either.
And so it come to a point where, something's got to give. You can't go around that corner at that speed for both of them. And I don't think it was Lewis's made contact. He wasn't in control. He still made the corner, technically. Max had rear contact, so rear wheel contact. So Lewis wasn't ahead. I think they were side by side before that area, and Lewis had to back out a little bit to feather off to try and make the corner. But it's a racing incident.
But
it happened with George Russell and Carlos Sainz.
Why then did he get a 10-second penalty? If it's a racing incident, it doesn't seem consistent.
Most of the drivers said that it's a racing incident.
It's a racing incident.
But you look at what happened with George Russell and Carlos Sainz on the sprint qualifying. He made contact with Sainz's rear wheel. Similar situation, a little bit lower speeds, no race-ending accident, massive contact. And the stewards are told not to take the impact or the severity of the crash into consideration when judging it. And I'm completely on board with that. But there was a penalty towards George, and that happened. And there was a penalty, in the previous race when they're making contact and running people off the track and wide, that they got a 5-second penalty. And they deemed it because it took him out of the race, where the ones in Austria weren't. It was a 10-second penalty. So when he came and pitted, he sat there for 10 seconds, and then he drove the wheels off the thing to finally get Charles Leclerc at the end. Charles drove a great race.
Oh, amazing.
Flawless. Made the overtake when those two had their scuffle. Got on the inside really quickly before it went to a full safety car. Thankfully, Max is fine. But they both...
He's been left with something to think about, though. Max.
He has.
He's got a little reminder.
It's not going to be that easy, and he's not going to pull out. And I say this all the time, and I've said it to other people who've asked me questions about it, that
I wonder if
roles
it'll change.
reversed.
I wonder if it'll change the way Max approaches that same situation next
It
time.
won't. And it won't change for Hamilton either. And if they were...
Well, Hamilton's emboldened. He's emboldened now.
Yeah.
He's like, well, see, mate, don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
And here's a little something to think about, and Max will think about that next time.
I did call it in the previous podcast. I said
you did call
Toto
it.
said that we were going to take one of them out.
Yep.
Heath said Bottas was going to do it, but Bottas was nowhere near them.
No.
So Lewis had to take matters into his own hands. Do I think the penalty was severe enough? It was enough.
Definitely.
It was enough.
I don't think there was a penalty involved, in my opinion.
It was
a racing incident.
It's racing, but he
was a little offline.
He wasn't going to make that corner.
No.
In a fair way, but I like that racing. If you guys,
I want to see
these
that.
guys, they're going to do it again. They're going to battle. They're going to hit each other because they're not going to give up. You saw it in Imola. I think it was last year or this year, banging wheels side by side. Lewis kind of pulled out of that one. There's many instances of these guys, and it's going to happen again, and it's going to be more severe. And I think roles reversed, the exact same thing happens. Max on the inside isn't going to yield to Lewis on the outside. He's not going to back off. He's going to hit him, and he's going to make contact. And the only thing that left a really sour taste in my mouth is Lewis lived up to his nickname that we've given him, the douche canoe.
The douche canoe.
The way he was celebrating.
After running off someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
After running someone off.
Yeah.
Like you've made contact, which is why you won the race. It's why you got the penalty, but it's also why you won the race, because Max wasn't there.
It's like,
and there's no that I feel hollow because
it's like celebrating
the contact was unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah.
But you were celebrating like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Based on
an own goal.
You took the guy out. Like it wasn't deliberate. At no point did I think, but the thing is, you made contact, which has caused your win. It has to be somewhat of...
It'd be a bit more subdued, a bit more respectful.
Yeah.
That you were there because of it.
And then you'd go, I hope Max is all right.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate way to win a Grand Prix, but I'm here to race. I'm here to go side by side and wheel to wheel with him, and I want to win this championship just as much as he does. And I think if you say those things, it's, okay, we understand you're in the heat of the battle. These things happen.
Yep.
But the fact not to mention it, just to go, fuck, it was me. I won this. I'm amazing. I'm great. Like, douche canoe.
I agree, totally. But I also like the fact that he was a little bit of a douche canoe. Because now it really throws a wedge. Now this is real serious.
Yeah. Handbags are fucking to the floor.
Not only was there a huge collision and Max got thundered into that wall at 51... whatever it was.
51G impact.
51G impact. Then Hamilton's running around celebrating, high-fiving himself.
Yeah.
And the optics of that is fantastic.
Waving the British flag.
And he's only a couple of points behind the World Championship now. And it's fucking on.
It's on.
This championship is on.
And it's the same thing. You know, you look at
I can't wait to see them race again.
Senna, Prost, these things happen. These guys go argy-bargy and take each other out.
Is this the beginning of something major?
It wasn't a deliberate move.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe it wasn't a deliberate move. It was two guys not wanting to give an inch.
Do you think this is the beginning of a incredible rivalry for this rest of the season, and there'll be more of this, more coming together, headbutting, or is it a one-off and it'll just calm down?
There's more.
Yes.
Get your potato chips.
I hope you were going to say that.
There's going to be more.
Sit down,
guarantee
get comfy.
If Lewis can get close enough, he'll fucking stick one under.
Hey, it worked that time.
Yeah. I think the next time it happens...
Throw it in again, Lewis.
I think Lewis will lose the front wing, and Max will continue on without any damage, really, and going to win the race.
But then again, 50% chance it won't happen that way.
100%.
Whatever happens, it is going to be a must...
Tantalising,
a must-watch season. And I found myself, I've never said this before, going and supporting Hamilton. You know when when you watch something like you watch a football game and you're neutral.
Two teams you hate. Carlton, Collingwood.
There we go, Carlton, Collingwood. And you go, I can't. This is not... You strangely, without thinking it, will find a team to support. You will always find, you go,
and you want the underdog.
And you look at yourself, why am I supporting this team? I don't even like them, but I really want them to win.
Seven-time world champion underdog.
That was me with Lewis. I'm like, yes, Lewis.
You want this to be close.
Take out Max. He's a little douche.
Yeah.
And it was weird that I found myself favouring Lewis and supporting him. I know.
You've evolved.
I don't know if I've digressed. But I was devolved, and I was going for Lewis. It shocked me to the core. So what's the fallout been? What's the feedback in the paddock? What have you heard?
Well, a lot of the paddock was like, we think it's a racing incident. You know, these guys, no quarters given. They weren't pulling back. But,
most blame for Lewis? Is that the general consensus?
The majority is a slight blame towards Lewis, but you can't blame Max. You can't go, he would have to yield and give position to a guy on the inside. It's just not how it's going to be. It's like when Mark Webber would try to overtake Fisichella around the outside of the last corner in Malaysia for his first ever podium, and then Williams got shit at him for trying to overtake him around the outside. Yeah. Fisichella fucking ran deep, ran out of tyres, hit Mark, took them both out of the race. Yep. And Nick Heidfeld gets his first podium.
Great news. Producer Pete has Toto Wolff on the line. Toto.
Oh, we're talking
Toto? Hey, Producer Pete has called up Toto to get some feedback about that racing incidents. And we're going to speak to him right now just to see what the Mercedes-Benz take on that crash was. How about that, Luke? Right here, Toto bloody Wolff on the podcast. Straight to the horse's mouth. Let's go over to Toto. Toto, can you hear us? Toto, thanks for joining us on F1 Podcast.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
How are you, Toto?
I'm really well rested. I'm looking forward to the Hungarian Grand Prix after a great, successful Silverstone Grand Prix.
Yes, what a Grand Prix. What a win. That must have been very satisfying.
It was a great win, great for the team, good points, closing the championships. Beautiful drive from Lewis.
Yeah.
Came from behind and after his penalty for whatever reason, he made the move on Charles with a couple laps to go and won in front of his home crowd. He's very happy and very proud.
Do you concur, do you agree with the penalty that was given to Lewis Hamilton, a 10-second penalty for causing the incident with Max?
I think it was a bit harsh.
Yep.
Personally, I wouldn't have given him a penalty. We emailed the FIA to tell them, you look at the rules, they were side by side.
Yep.
He's got to give him room.
Yep.
And he pinched him. We have our ways, and they decided that it was some kind of 10-second penalty, kind of worth it, and I disagreed wholeheartedly.
Yep.
But I would just like to mention, since Christian Horner has come out and he said that we shouldn't be talking to the stewards, we shouldn't be going into the room where we were invited by Michael Massey. You can come up and you can give us your proof because we don't answer emails. I'm going to do the best job that I can as a director to help and make sure my team gets the best way possible. And Christian Horner sitting there on the radio every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hello, Michael, can you just please, I don't know how to do a British accent, just, I think it's pretty severe how much money that's going to cost us in the championship and all that. And he's telling me not to interfere, but he's on the radio. Then he gets his other guys from the Red Bull pit wall to get on the radio and go, hey, this was, you look at the footage, he was inside. And Michael goes, yes, we're looking at the footage, the stewards are looking at that, don't worry. Like, no, let's get on the radio again. The hypocrisy that he says, oh, don't get in their face, yet you radio them time and time again.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy of that little fucking Horner.
Yes.
Hippocratic Horner is what he fucking is, you stupid retard.
Wow. Okay, Toto.
Yes, I said the R word.
Yes.
He's retarded. He is a special parking spot in the FIA.
This incident has certainly kicked off this championship into
Do you know his email is retard@redbullracing.com.
There you go.
Give him an email.
Yeah. So obviously
his phone number is
obviously you're a very passionate man and you're very upset, but also very happy with the way things are going. What's going to happen from now on between your teams? I mean, can you see more of this just accelerating? Is there going to be bigger problems, bigger fights?
Listen, gloves are off.
Okay.
We're not going to fuck about.
Yep.
Lewis, 7-time world champion. An amazing man. Amazing character. And he's going to take it to Max.
Yep.
And Max better be up for the fight.
Right.
I don't think he is. I don't think he's ready. I think he's a little girly, man.
I think. Do you think that maybe it's his first time that he's ever had a championship fight with up against a massive world champion?
I don't think Max has won a championship of anything.
Okay. All right.
I think he's been runner-up because he hasn't been consistent.
Yep.
And this is another opportunity. He lost a lot of points. He could have just conceded to Lewis, let Lewis win the race and still have a healthy lead in the champ. But he didn't. He didn't back out. Neither did Lewis. Bring on Hungary.
All right. Thank you very much, Toto Wolff, for joining us on F1 Podcast. How about that? Things are getting
tasty.
Tasty. Things are getting spicy.
Horner the hypocrite.
And you're hearing it right here.
And I completely agree with him. Horner can't be on the radio going and getting Monahan and all the other guys on the pit wall from Red Bull saying, you guys, don't forget that this is the rules and don't say this. And then, Toto's doing the exact same thing. He's just, you're not answering him. I was all right. I'll show you my evidence.
Yeah.
It's not swaying shit.
No.
But, you need to keep out of the eyes.
Oh, is that a phone call coming in?
It is.
You got a phone call?
Yep.
Oh, I can hear it. Who is it?
All right.
It's calling. Pick it up. Who is it? Is that that's Christian Horner.
It's a video call from Christian Horner.
It's Christian Horner. We got Christian Horner on the phone. Christian, can you hear us? You seem to have a baby. Are you nursing a baby? That is Christian. It's Christian Horner.
Christian, just want to interject for a second. What do you think about the appeal process and how everything went on the British Grand Prix weekend?
Yeah. Yeah. Not happy. Not happy at all, is he? It seems like
Any questions for Christian before we...
Christian, obviously extremely disappointed. Yeah. You're still upset, aren't you? You all right, Christian? You going to be all right? Must have been hard to take. You lost some big points. Your star driver hit the wall. Yeah, okay. All right, well, we won't keep you. You're obviously still very upset, Christian, so thanks very much for joining us on F1
Thanks
Podcast.
for your time.
Thank you so much. Go suck your thumb, Christian. Oh, poor little fella.
He wasn't handling very well,
very happy, was he?
No. I think I heard some toys fly to that pram as well.
Yeah, wow, how about that? Christian Horner, Toto Wolff. It is definitely
It's on.
My goodness. I think we should hand out some awards.
I've got
Let's
some
get this
awards for
award.
the sprint race.
Yeah, so we had the sprint race and we had the race.
Yes.
So we got two sets of awards to hand out today.
Yep.
So let's try to go rapid fire, shall we?
Okay.
Let's get into the sprint race.
Yep.
The first award is the Green Award for lowering the carbon footprint.
Now it's F1. F1 gets it for lowering the carbon footprint. The reason being is they had 2 less practice sessions. So they had less time to waste fuel, burn around and spin around the track doing fuck all. So then they had a shorter race, which they would have had, they've spend less fuel and money on the sprint race than they would have done their 2 extra practice sessions.
Aha.
So
Love
there
it.
you go.
The next award, UGE Day Award for wasting everyone's time.
Well, we're giving it to Sergio Perez for going backwards and Mazepin for being Mazepin.
Yeah, he's very good at being
Wasting
Mazepin.
everyone's time.
What a fucking waste of time that guy is.
Yep.
The next award is the Pastor Maldonado Award. There it is right there. Hand whittled by producer Peter, and that is for dangerous driving.
That's correct. And we're giving it to Sergio Perez. He gets the second award. The reason being is he spun on his own in front of Daniel Ricciardo. And well done, Perez.
Well, that'll do it. Lickett and Senate Award. Here it is for overtaking, the best overtaking maneuver.
Yep, we're giving it to Carlos Sainz.
Yep.
On Pierre Gasly. Great move by the Sainz man.
Very nice. Effing One Podcast Award. There he is.
To the sprint race.
Sprint race. The sprint race. The
good.
format.
I enjoyed it. Next one will be at Monza.
I love it. Oh, I can't wait for... Do we just do this all the time now? It kind of worked.
I liked
It's a
it.
one-off.
I liked it.
Let's see
It's
how
not
we
going to
get-
help Monaco.
No. You're right. It's pick and choose.
Yeah.
Yep. The next award is the Making Formula One Great Award, Luke.
We just did that one.
Did we? I thought I did the Effing One Podcast Award.
That's the sprint race. That is the one.
Oh, sorry.
F1 Podcast Award making F1 great again.
Oh, good Lord. The Speckle Jim Award, Luke.
Speckle Jim goes to 3 votes Alonso, 2 votes for Sainz,
Yep.
and 1 vote for Verstappen.
The
Caviar Cup?
Caviar Cup.
All shit. Nothing.
Nothing.
No, you get fuck all.
The 3 billionaire boys competing against their teammates.
That's right.
Nothing.
The fast lap was Max in the sprint race.
Right.
No pit stops. Driver of the day wasn't voted on by the F1 people and the fans.
What about the race, Luke?
Main race?
Got the awards for the main race?
Of course I do.
Alrighty. Let's have a look at that. I reckon there's going to be a certain monogas appearing somewhere. The first award
reckon?
is the Green Award, Formula One Green Award, which is lowering carbon footprint. Who do you give that to?
Green Award is going to Lewis Hamilton. Because he took Max out.
Oh, yes.
It just lowered
Clever.
the carbon footprint. You know, 1 car less.
Perfect.
And then it brought out a safety car.
Yep.
That also lowers everyone's carbon footprint by using less fuel.
Yep.
He's a very, very thoughtful vegan.
And to take out Max, it's just the loveliest thing you can do for a race, I reckon. The UG E-Day Award, wasting everyone's time in the main race.
Well, that was Max. Oh. He wasted everyone's time. Wasted his day. And then he was
Love
up
it.
till 11 o'clock till he was discharged from the hospital.
Yep. Tweeting away, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
Tweeting
was
away.
complaining.
Yeah,
he was complaining too.
Of course he was. Little whinger, little orange whinger. The Lick It and Send It Award. Oh, I forgot the Pastor Maldonado Award. My bad. Pastor Maldonado Award, please, Luke.
Well, we're giving it to Lewis.
Giving that for Lewis Hamilton.
Yep, for crashing into Max Verstappen.
Love it. Let's do the Lick It, Send It. Best overtaking maneuver.
That's Lewis. Because he licked that stamp and he sent
He
him
sure
into the wall.
fucking did. He licked it real good.
Lewis Hamilton gets another award.
All right, let's give another award to Making Formula One Great, the F1 Podcast.
We're giving it to the stewards.
Nice.
So they just ignored everyone's crap.
Yeah.
Going, you know what? Fuck
Yeah.
this. This is what we're giving them.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Speckle Jim Award.
Speckle Jim, 3 for Leclerc, 2 for Russell, and 1 for Mazepin.
Really?
Giving 1 to Mazepin because he finished ahead of Schumi.
Oh, nice. He hasn't done that very often.
No, he hasn't. So that leads to our Caviar Cup,
Yes.
where Mazepin and Stroll both finished ahead of their teammates.
Ah, nicely
So
done.
Mazepin's finally on the board for the Caviar Cup.
Yep.
The driver of the day from F1 was Charles Leclerc. The fastest pit stop was Worms with a 2.10, and the fastest lap was Sergio Perez. He pinched it at the end to try and take... So Sergio was in the top 10.
Yep.
Would have got a point.
Yep.
But Lewis had fastest lap.
Yes.
So they pitted Sergio in, put some soft tyres on him. He went out, did the fastest lap, so that took the point off.
Away from Max.
And Sergio doesn't get the point because he was outside the top 10. So that was a strategic play by Red Bull.
Oh, so they didn't. They took the point off. Who?
Took the point off Lewis.
Lewis.
Because Lewis had the fastest
That's
lap, so
right.
he would have, 26 points?
What an incredibly negative thing to do. But it works. I mean, you don't want your competitors with an extra point.
That's it.
But you can't have that point unless you're in the finishing the top 10. So
It'd be funny if... I won't really matter. I was just about to say, wouldn't it be funny if Red Bull lost the Constructors' Championship by getting Sergio out of the top 10, but then that also took the point off Lewis, so it kind of negates itself.
Does a little bit, doesn't
Disregard
it?
my
Disregard
nonsense.
That.
I thought I was onto something. Clearly.
No, you clearly weren't, and that's fine. That's fine.
Clearly.
Look, let's get a bit of news from the Aussie GP, Luke. We got some news from the Nerang GP. We touched on it briefly. We're proposing this to take a spot next year, and I think we're on a good thing. I think we've got a red-hot chance at this because a lot of races are being cancelled this year. Mind you, the Australian race has also been cancelled, so to put forward another Australian race, maybe not the smartest thing to do, but this is Nerang.
Yep.
And it has a special place in people's hearts.
It does.
Luke.
It's the Grand Prix for the little Aussie battlers.
It is the Battlers GP for
Bringing
the little
the
man.
pinnacle of motorsports to the absolute, what would you call Nerang? Here you get the pinnacle of F1, the pinnacle of motorsport.
Yeah, the refuse.
To the absolute...
The refuse. It's the lowest ebb of society.
Yeah.
It's the dregs.
It's the drop toilet
It's the
of
long
the
drop.
campsite.
Yeah, it's where you go to take a dump in the middle of the night if you're camping. You take your shovel, you wander out to the bush, you try to find a secluded, dark spot that no one ever wants to visit, and you dig a hole and you take a dump. That's Nerang.
I've always thought of Nerang as you're on a long drive and you stop basically it's a truck stop where truckers go there and pull over and have a kip or a nap.
Play with some titties.
Molest a dog or two. And then there's the drop toilet. Now, the drop toilet is a toilet that is it's a toilet, and then underneath it is just this big drop to a big hole of shit and piss from every other tourist who's driven along this road and needed to take a shit there.
Yeah.
So the ammonia, the shit smell, the flies,
the sulfur.
That is Nerang.
I think you've sold it really nicely.
The smell's the same.
Yeah.
And
it does just remind you of camping as a kid.
The beautiful thing is what we've... They were concerned about safety. They were concerned about COVID when it comes to Nerang.
Yep.
But we've actually made a bubble.
Yep.
We've constructed a bubble, a bit like the movie Biodome or
Yes.
the Simpsons movie when they had a dome. That'll be over the F1 paddock.
Or the Truman Show.
And you will not be out... Or the Hunger Games.
Hunger Games again.
Which I've just recently seen that movie. Two of the four.
Yeah, good. They're very good.
They're not bad.
Yeah.
So basically, no one from Nerang can actually touch anyone from F1.
Yes.
They come in from... They have like their own little Pope-mobiles.
Yes.
It's impervious. You can't even
To the
smell
locals.
Nerang.
Yeah.
They are pumping in filtered air into
From
this
Monaco.
dome.
Yeah, sweeter, richer air.
Yeah.
Wealthy air.
It's alpine kind of air.
Fresh alpine air. Yeah.
And that is what you'll be breathing. And for the Nerang Grand Prix, they'll actually have a canopy over the drivers.
Yes.
Just to keep that freshness of air in there.
Lock in the freshness, so it's like sealed.
So they won't be able to smell it, taste it, breathe it. They won't be able to talk to anyone from Nerang, which is just a massive selling point for F1.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of people in Nerang don't care about F1, so they're not caring about touching Lewis Hamilton's hands.
It's probably the best way to experience Nerang from the comfort of a biosphere.
So they'll be on the outside.
Yeah.
Standing on the outside looking in. Great song.
Great song.
And then you'll have F1 in their...
comfort zone
yeah.
with the fresh European air.
Yeah.
Or they can see the poverty.
It's like Perry Air. Have you seen the Spaceballs where he opens the can and he sniffs the air?
Yep.
Perry Air.
It's pretty much like that. It'll be Perry Air at the Nerang GP.
That's it.
Bringing their own air. It's the best way to experience Nerang. And it's a selling point.
It's a great selling point for F1. It's for their safety.
Yes.
Yeah. No one's going to risk going out there.
No. It's a wonderful, wonderful initiative.
We can enjoy the Meth Museum, but the F1 people can't.
No.
And they will be wearing gloves for their part of the hand jobs for the homeless.
Yep, that's definitely advised.
It's like the boy in the bubble from Seinfeld.
Yep.
Just have that hand through there and they'll just be...
Yeah, gripping it, ripping it.
And their grip's going to be strong. They're driving an F1 car.
Yeah, they know how to handle a steering wheel. thank you for the update for the Nerang GP, Luke.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Looking forward to that. 2022.
Can't make that up.
Cannot. And hopefully Liberty Media jump on board. Wonderful ideas. Biosphere, bringing some, Perrier. I mean, if they don't jump on board, there's something very wrong with them because we have come up with some beautiful ideas for a second Australian GP.
That's it.
Mid-cell. Got to do a mid-cell.
Oh, good.
Well, hang on. What time is it? Yep, well overdue for a mid-cell, Luke. We are a mid-cell.
that time.
This is what we love to do. Mid-cell. We lock down. We talk about what was working really well in the podcast. What was your highlight so far, Luke?
Your intro.
Yes. My highlight? Getting Toto and Christian Horner on the blower.
Christian. Didn't he have something to say?
Didn't he have something? That was fantastic. Really good. Coming up still, Luke, you will not believe this. We've got Sebastian Vettel, Dan Ricciardo.
I'm looking forward to that.
We are punching way above our weight, mate, in this little Aussie knockabout podcast. Well, time to preview the Hungarian GP, Luke. It's the halfway mark of a 2-1.
That's it.
And it's our first... let's take a look at... We don't have the sprint race this time. It's back to the normal format.
Normal shindig.
Which seems a bit of an anticlimax after that. I did kind of enjoy the fun of having action on Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, I
That
did
was
like
nice.
that. I did,
Yeah.
even though some of them were at stupid times, like the sprint race and the qualifying
Terrible
were
times for
horrible
us.
times for us.
Yeah.
But we watched it, we enjoyed it.
Yep.
A few people didn't get their tips in because of the Friday qualifying. Kind
Yep.
of screwed everyone with that one. But we still got a few.
Did you get
people
my tips? I did send them in. Did you get mine?
Use the wrong website, mate.
How am I doing? How am I doing anyway by the tipping?
You're what
Dead last.
bringing up the rear.
All right, just the way I like it. As is tradition here at F1 Podcast, Luke, we like to celebrate the customs, the traditions of the host race as a little tip of the cap to the host peoples of the host race, out of respect for the country. We do this in numerous ways. We dress up. One way, we like to dress up in the native...
Is it necessary?
Is it necessary, Luke?
No.
Is dressing up for a podcast necessary, Luke?
But we do it anyway.
We do it anyway, Luke. We do it anyway. Why do we do it, Luke? Out of tradition. Out of respect.
We've made this tradition, and you can't stop it.
No. You cannot stop something. You cannot...
You can't cancel us.
You cannot
You
cancel
can't
us.
me to us.
No, you cannot, Luke. The horse is
Even
bolted.
though a lot of the times you're black facing.
Yes.
Again tonight, it doesn't make sense, but he does
But
it anyway.
we do it anyway. Because
it's
it
about
feels
culture.
right.
Yeah.
It's about the culture.
And if he identifies as a black man or a woman,
Oh,
I will let you.
thank you, Luke. Thank you. So it makes complete sense this week. Now, we have previously dressed up in native costumes, native dresses. We've also dressed up in famous people from the host country.
We have.
We've also dressed up in... What else have we... We've done some unusual... Food.
We've done, when we did the Canadian Grand Prix, you dressed up as a horse.
I did dress
And
up as a horse.
I was a lumberjack.
You did.
And you were a horse.
Yep.
Many things that we've done.
Many, many things. Well, this week, Luke, you'll be very happy to know that we are again wearing the native cuisine of Hungary.
Excellent.
Hungary, of course, being famous for a couple of lovely delights, one being the beef goulash, which is a lovely, slightly thinly cut beef with a nice gravy, a nice...
Man gravy.
Man gravy? Well, this you could make this a man gravy yourself.
I will.
We've got a plate
Give me time.
We've got a plate of goulash for you to sit in. Producer Pete, bring up the goulash. Pete's been. Oh, yes. Now, Pete. Now. The goulash.
That's your cue. Stop
Mum,
eating it.
I said it 4 times. Goulash. It's coming. It's coming. Here it is. Thank you, Producer Pete. Just so you're naked, Luke, as am I.
The whole time.
This is how we podcast. We do our best work when we're flying like this.
I'm going to lower myself into it.
There we go. Just pop your little todger in that. Ooh, squidgy. There we go. How's that feel?
All the air escaped.
There we go. And I, Producer Pete, bring up the native dish that I'll be wearing for the podcast tonight, please, Pete. Up! Thank you, Peter.
Such a
Pop it-
fucking idiot.
Pop it over here, please, mate.
Thanks,
Thank you. Oh, look at these little fellas. Look at these. Cabbage balls. Look at these little cabbage balls. Oh, boy, I got to sit on these. All right, here we go.
I can see your cabbage balls.
Oh, smells like cabbage. And not
Your poor wife.
not uncomfortable.
Yep. Not
Not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No,
They've been
it's-
cooked well then.
You get them in the right spot. You can actually sit on them nicely.
like a massage
Yeah,
chair.
there we go.
One of those chairs that the taxi guys.
Yeah.
You know, those beaded.
Yeah,
seats.
the beaded seats.
There
They're
you go.
kind of like that for your anus. Yep, there it is. I probably wouldn't eat these cabbage rolls.
Not
though.
now.
No, don't.
Pete might.
Yes.
He's a bit weird
Oh, we're
like
not
that.
going to waste it. We're going to hand it down to the homeless shelter with hand jobs for the homeless. Get a hand job and
Hungarian feast.
a Hungarian delicious feast. Good stuff. Times, Luke. Tell us
Yes.
about the track. Tell us about the conditions.
I'll give you the times first.
Can you give us the times?
So the race times for the Hungarian Grand Prix this weekend is, so if you're in Auckland, it's 1 a.m. Monday morning. Queensland, we should have it at 11 o'clock. Perth, 9 o'clock. And then we have, if you are in Helsinki, for our Finnish listeners, that's 4 p.m. for you guys. Stockholm in Sweden, we have some Swedish people over there.
They listening?
Yep.
Yes, we
Still,
love the Swedes.
They haven't vomited and given up on their cock gobbling over there. So 3 o'clock for the Hungarian Grand Prix for our friends in Stockholm.
That's nice. 3 o'clock's a good time.
London, you're getting it at 2.
Yep.
Los Angeles, so the west coast
Yep.
of the United States of America. You are watching the Hungarian Grand Prix at 6 a.m. And New York, you are watching it at 9 a.m.
Wow.
Those are the times for those parts of the world. Now, the track, it's one of my favorite tracks. It's like,
Is it?
It's like a go-kart track.
Yeah, it does have that feel, doesn't it?
Undulating, good little
You can
chicane up the back.
overtake. It always has good results. It always has fun racing.
Some off cambers, some on cambers.
Yep.
I quite like it. Good little battles. You can
How
go
does
side
it
by
How does
side.
it compare to the Barcelona GP?
How does it compare?
Yeah,
It's not a lot. Like they've extended the main straight to increase overtaking, and you can still go side by side, and that's
yeah.
That's,
Because
that's
Barcelona is hands down the worst fucking track.
Yep. Absolute
Hungary
shit
is
show.
right up there.
So 70 laps, 306.63 kilometers for the race distance. Circuit length is 4.381 kilometers. The lap record is Lewis Hamilton last year, a 1 minute 16.627. It's a beautiful track. There is only one DRS, which is the main straight. The tyres are the C2, C3, C4, which are the middle compound of the 5 compounds that Pirelli has. The weather depends where you look. It's a bit like...
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it was a bit like I think I was talking about the French Grand Prix or
Yeah.
maybe the Austrian Grand Prix. They're like, oh, it's going to rain. It's not going to rain. It's going to rain. It's definitely going to rain. So some are saying rain. Some are saying dry. 40% chance maybe on Sunday. 58% chance on the Saturday.
Seems quite specific.
It does.
58%.
I heard a
Sunday?
rumor that when you say 50 odd percent, it's actually 50% of that region will get rain. It doesn't mean there's a 50% chance of rain.
Oh, 50%.
It doesn't make sense. But then you've got, you look at another one, it says, storms, 70% on Saturday and 60% on Sunday. So it could rain, could be dry. These people go to university and don't remember shit.
Yeah.
And they just make it up as they go along. I just want to go on to I forgot to mention the tips that we had.
Yeah.
We did mention it briefly that you were still last.
Thanks.
Jimmy and myself, we topped out at 15, then Cliff 14, Pat, Marcus, Pete and yourself 13.
And just for those who are joining us for the first time, that isn't the entirety of everyone who's listening to this podcast. That is just the people who've decided to
They're
play. Hardcore guys that are playing the tipping competition, because we are getting way more downloads than just those 5 guys.
Yeah, I don't download it.
No, there's at least 2 more downloads that we get.
The Turd Championship.
Oh, the Turd Championship.
Yeah. There's been a switch in the top 3.
Is that right?
Junior Schumacher's overtaken Queen Latifi.
Oh, jeez.
Latifi has gone to 3rd. He's on 124 negative points. And Junior Schumacher is on negative 129. Me Too Mazepin is all the way out in front with a Lewis Hamilton type lead of the last 6 years.
Wow.
It's a 164 negative points.
Wow.
He's a bit shit.
Tell you who's not shit. This guy here, Sebastian Vettel. It's time to catch up with four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel. Amazing that he spends that much time on this little Aussie knockabout podcast.
I don't know why you would.
I don't know, but we get the big names, Luke.
We sure do.
Let's cross over to him. Sebastian, can you hear us?
Hi guys. Hi, it's me, Sebastian Vettel, four-time world champion. Woohoo! Hi, what's going on? Is Luke there? Can someone tell me, is Lukey there? Lukey!
Hi, Sebastian.
Hi, Sebastian. Yeah, that's me. Hi, Luke. What are you doing?
Do you want to conduct the interview?
Sorry, I just get a little bit nervous. Oh, Jesus.
Do you like my goulash?
Oh, God. I wish I could taste your goulash. Oh, my. Have you still not got a girlfriend, Luke? What's going on with the girlfriend situation?
No, I don't.
You don't have a girlfriend, Luke. What is This is a fucking crime. This
Well-
is an absolute... People say that the Nazis were bad and they did some bad shit. Sure.
Oh, they did.
But you not having a girlfriend? Oh, my God. Seriously.
Is that worse?
Put it into a whole different perspective.
So I'm like the dating equivalent of a Holocaust. I think that's why I'm single.
Maybe, Luke. Maybe. I don't mind. You can come
You
over
can
to
have a look
place
at my
later.
Auschwitz.
Yeah. No, look, I am a seriously happy married man, Luke. Jesus Christ. I got 3 kids.
What are their names again?
Little Shumi. I've got little Dan Ricciardo, and I've got little Latifi. Little Queefy. It's the middle one. Look, you know when you have 3 kids, you forget the one that you like the least. So I've got
It's easy
them.
to forget the ones you don't
I'm
like.
always giving him a different name.
Yeah.
Like little Dan Ricciardo. He's so cute. He's like the real Dan Ricciardo. He's so cute. He loves to play. And then you've got little Shumi. Oh, I love Shumi. And the middle one. Then there's the middle one. I'm like, what am I going to call you today, middle one? I'm going to call you Latifi.
Yeah.
What am I going to call you now? Bottas? Can't do anything properly, can you, Bottas? Jesus Christ. No. I don't have
Seriously.
favorites. And Heidi, my wife, oh my God. She's getting really strong. She's been working out.
Is she going to compete in the Olympics?
She's in the Olympics, look.
She's in Tokyo.
Have you not seen the weightlifting?
I have.
The female weightlifting.
Oh, she's in the female.
She's in the female weightlifting.
Okay.
She's Jesus, man. She's really great. She's really strong. She's doing a great job. And she seems happy. She's hanging
all
out
that
with the
matters.
other girls.
Yep.
You know, they like to drink beer and
Chalk up.
yeah, they, hit the showers and
You don't like any of that, do you?
well, not with those guys.
What's your favourite, we get off F1, we're going to
Yeah.
talk. What's your
Sure.
favourite what do you like watching in the Olympics?
Well, I love long walks on the beach. Look, you know this. Some of my favorite things. I like reading a nice Mills and Boon novel.
But in terms of Olympic events,
Oh, yes.
what would you like to sit and watch?
What can I watch in the Olympics? I like badminton.
What about Greco-Roman wrestling?
Squash? Does they have squash? I love the wrestling. I love the Greco-Roman wrestling.
Do you think they should go back to how they did it in the original times and
more
do it naked?
oil? Naked and more oil, for sure. That's the way I do it.
Gymnastics?
Well, I was actually training to be in the Greco-Roman wrestling team.
Really?
Yeah, it was very great. But I got a bit sidetracked. And
You submitted a lot.
I was of always tapping out.
Yeah.
I love to get
You
tapped.
just put that ass in the air and just...
Oh, gosh.
Sorry,
you got
guys.
Me. Oh, you're really
You win
strong.
again.
You got me. Let's talk about racing.
Okay, Hungarian Grand Prix.
Hungary.
What are your expectations for this weekend?
I'm thinking we're looking pretty strong, look. I've got to tell you. Some stuff happening with the team, and I'm very excited. I think we are very great. I think we are going to do a great job this weekend. Yeah. I think we got some updates coming. The package is good, and I'm pretty confident that I'm going to beat Stroll. I'm going to wrap him up and shock him away, the little shit. The future's bright. Look. Yeah, I think, and next year's very exciting. Just sure, this year we're not going to win the World Championship. This is clear. But next year, watch out for us. because we're already working on the car for 2022.
Everyone's working on that new
Yeah, but
car.
not like we're working on the car, look. Not like we're working on it. We are really working on it.
Any inside...
Yes, I'm working on the inside and the outside. I'm working on, just getting in
The
there.
side, the outside,
The outside, the
underside.
rim. I like to work on the rim first, and then just push it in a little bit and jump in there. Getting comfortable.
I don't know about you, but I'm slightly
It's
aroused.
nice and warm in there. Thanks, guys. It's been great.
Bye, Sebastian.
Thanks, bye. Bye. Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion. Always nice
Little
to get
Latifi.
Little Latifi.
That's a new one.
I didn't know. Forgot his middle child's name.
This weekend, the weekend that's just gone past, they had an 18-inch tyre test with Haas and Aston Martin.
Okay.
So they were testing the new
rims.
rims
I did see
and the new
that.
tyres for Pirelli. I think it was at Silverstone.
Different, aren't they?
Another bit of news, a bit of something I want to throw out there.
Okay.
This may not be possible, may not happen,
Yeah.
but just give me a sec.
Sure, no, I always
Lewis
do.
Hamilton, I think, personally, should consider transitioning to a female
Okay.
to then become the first ever female world champion.
I mean,
He's won 7 world championships as a male.
there's nothing else to break. He
He
got
would be
no other
considered
records.
brave. He'd be the first black female world champion. He'd be the first female world champion.
Well, you could rack up a lot more titles.
Just snip it off, take some pills, make it happen. We will support you. I support Lewis
Absolutely.
Hamilton
I will support him.
transitioning
I will.
to becoming a woman,
To be a Christian Jenner.
be the first transgender
Yep.
Formula One world champion.
Yep.
I'm all for that.
I'm me too. If that's what he wants to do.
But he
Luke.
has to be careful around Mazepin.
I would definitely be. Yeah. Any female around Mazepin is just
Not a
it's
good
like
idea.
A bull to a white flag. It's
Red flag?
red flag. Well, yes. They end up putting up the white flag, but
They do.
yes,
They
a red flag. They're so very submissive. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Luke. I think that's a wonderful initiative.
Like the lady douche canoe?
The lady douche.
Yes.
That's nice.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yep. Well, isn't originally the original douche bag?
I think he's won everything. He's got 1 more races. He's won more pole positions. He's going to win more world champions. But he should win one as a female.
Just one.
yeah.
Yeah. Just
You
your last
you
one.
see it every now and again in his fashion. You think,
He's not far away.
maybe he has that inkling. Maybe he has that itch that he's not sure if he wants to explore that side of him. By all means, Lewis, get in there.
You are often predicting some of the big moves, and this is a prediction again.
And more people are saying that it's Georgia signed.
Oh, George Russell?
Even though
What, with
Toto,
Mercedes?
yes, even though Toto's come out on this podcast and said, yep, we've signed him. Everyone's slowly listening to the podcast and realizing that we were right and we got the scoop from our man Toto.
Yeah.
And because people are saying, oh, Haas is looking at Bottas and Bottas is looking outside of F1.
Williams?
It could be an option.
Yeah.
It all depends. You never know what's
such
going to
a
happen next year. Imagine if Williams pulls something out of the box next year.
Well,
and they're the
that's
best
true.
car on the
That's
grid.
the best thing about next year. You just don't know. I mean, it's unlikely that teams like Williams will be the front runner, but there is a chance.
They could have
a better chance than there was this year.
a 13-year-old Jesus or some kind of Doogie Howser that's now, being employed
Yep.
at Williams that could spring a surprise.
It's a leveling playing field, and I hope it's going to be very, very close next year.
My concern is next year is one team's going to nail it and the rest is playing catch up, just as
That is-
Mercedes did when we had the regulation change.
And it may not be Mercedes, but one team may just nail it.
Could be Racing Point,
Which is a
Sebastian
shame.
Vettel's pretty confident.
Yep. It is a shame because we've come so far and now the racing has become so close. To now we're going to totally change things up. Now that you're all nice and close now, and the second, third, fourth teams that have bridged the gap and they're now only like 0.4 seconds of a second behind, now is the time to change.
They make the changes because they're like, oh, these guys are being too dominant, let's make the change. And then everyone eventually catches up and it's close. It's just like what happened in the V8 era. Everyone closed in on Red Bull. It was a four battle for the championship in 2012. And then they switch over 2014 and it's Mercedes. And now it's coming back and then they're going to change it again.
Well, we have to.
But we'll be here.
we'll be here.
talking about it.
That's the most important thing.
You'll be
Luke.
here listening to it.
Correct. And even if it is one-sided racing, you've still got us.
And if you've listened to this first thing in the morning, you've already made one mistake first thing in the morning. It can only get better from here.
Correct. Your day can only get better. And if you've made it through this far into the podcast, over an hour,
Yeah, you're still listening.
you're a better man than I am. Or woman.
Or woman.
Whatever you identify as.
Yep.
You're better than us.
If you identify as a ficus, we appreciate you listening and thank you for downloading.
Thank you for being the first ficus to download this podcast. It means a lot to us.
It does.
And we'll catch you here right after the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No.
No. Hit us up on the
socials?
Insta, on the socials.
Get in the
Insta.
tipping competition.
Get in there. It's never
you can start at Adam's spot.
You can still
You
have
can
your
take his point.
just have your name mentioned on the show.
Yeah.
If you just enter, we're going to mention your name.
Yeah.
And that's Dirk Dirkowitz from Up in Ball Karabots in Norway. Up in Ball Karabots,
Oh,
great
of
little
course,
spot.
yes.
Caribou, that's what they
Okay.
main industry is.
Really?
Caribou racing. I don't know.
Well,
Thanks.
bye.
See ya.